welcome parents to our weekly video. Love getting to spend this time with you guys, going over what we've been talking about in youth group, but also what we've got coming up. Obviously, as you know, because I sent it out last week, this week we started our dating series called Dateable. And last night what we talked about mainly, once again, I'm not trying to hook your daughter or son up with a significant other. That's not the goal of the series. The goal of the series is to make your son or daughter somebody who other people would find not physically attractive, but spiritually attractive, likable. And so last night what we did was we looked at the verse in Mark where the Pharisees asked Jesus, what's the greatest commandment? And Jesus says, love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, and then love your neighbor as yourself. If this is the most important commandment in the Bible, love your neighbor as yourself, then that means that it applies in many other areas other than just loving your next door neighbor. And we know that neighbor means much more than that. Neighbor means anybody who you come in contact with or can have a relationship with. And so it definitely applies to dating. And if there's any dating advice that I could give to your son or daughter, once again, I'm not a big advocate of dating American style because it just feels too based upon me. But I am about giving some dating advice to those who are going to do it anyway. And maybe as a parent, you're allowing your child to do that. That dating has to be more about what I can get out of it, what your son or what your daughter can get out of it. It's not a me first mentality. It has to be about loving others first and caring for others first, needs first, and seeing them the way God sees them. So dating is not about how do I feel accepted, how do I feel loved, how do I get physical touch, how do I get emotional security, because that's all about me. Dating's all about, or should be biblically, how can I respect another person? How can I love another person? How can I serve another person? Much akin the way that a brother and sister would serve and love one another in a family. And I think that's more the model of what God is looking for our middle schoolers and high schoolers if they have a boyfriend or a girlfriend. But that's for you as a parent to kind of sift through. I guess my question would be, and I'd love some feedback from you guys, maybe a response to this email, but what do you do when it comes to dating with your kids? How do you set those parameters, and have you had this talk with them that dating needs to be about the other person and not you getting your needs met or your emotional security or stability? So that's big stuff to think about as a parent. I hope you pray with your kids about that. You talk to them about it. And yeah, this week, going into next week, you can have set that foundation. Now, next week, we're still continuing the Dateable series. Next week is link groups, but guess what? They're not at host homes. Link groups are not at host homes next week. So I wish I had a flashing light. Parents, recognize next week, link groups are here at the church because we have the congregational gathering at 4:30. We have the chili cook-off at 5:30. And then at 6:30, link groups, 8 o'clock, come pick your kids up. Now, some small groups may want to take their students off-site. Make sure that you're okay with that. But most of them will be here at the church, and you can pick them up at 8 o'clock. And so we'll be doing link groups here at the church. Small groups here at the church, not at host homes next week. I can't emphasize that enough. I hope you're watching this. I'll put it in the email, but that's the way it is next week. But we'll still be in the dating series. Then the week following that, we'll be back here at the church for Ascend. Actually, we won't have, I'm sorry, that's February the 7th. We won't have youth group that night because that's when we're getting back from Freeze Out. The other big thing I wanted to talk to you guys about was, on that night we get back, February the 7th, is the Super Bowl. And there's a certain team in the Super Bowl this year. Hey, Cam, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Did you enjoy beating down them Cardinals last night? You sure did, didn't you? Are you going to be the MVP? You probably are, aren't you? Well, thanks for stopping by today. I love the Panthers. I can't believe they're going to the Super Bowl. That is insignificant to what God is doing here at this student ministry. One of the things that we're pumped about is our upcoming mission trip this summer. You'll be hearing a whole lot more about it. But hopefully you guys received one of these last night. It's the flyer that tells a little bit about the mission trip. St. Louis, our theme this year is Boldly. we want to live it out, and we want to go into this church, Sojourn in St. Louis, a community that we've been growing with over the last 4 or 5 years, and really make an impact to see that church reach the inner city of Belleville, Illinois, and St. Louis, and really see God working there. Please sign your kids up for this. Let money not be an issue. We're going to have an awesome fundraiser this year called CP Has Talent. You'll be hearing more about that, but we're going to raise those funds. But I can't emphasize enough to you as a parent how important a cross-cultural mission trip, especially one to St. Louis where I know the ministry is so important and so needed. I can't express to you enough how much this can mean for your kid in their walk with Christ. Please, by all means, make this a priority this year. 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade, everybody needs to be a part of this. I can't emphasize that enough. If you're a parent, you care about your kid's spiritual life, you care about their growth with Christ, this is a big deal. By all means, sign up, register at My Point. The information's here in the brochure, and see what God wants to do with your kid this summer. So that's my plugs for right now. Obviously, you'll be hearing more about that, and I'll write about it in the email. Please watch this video. If you got to that point, you did watch the video. Cam, say goodbye. Bye. Love you guys. Bye.